The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's hooking up new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no guys. Me, really rough, villain rough, Terrell, Furman Jr. here at your service. Very, very, very good showing last night in the association. I think overall ATS, I was 10-2 in the tally site picks that I dropped. Shout out to tally site. Definitely got the sweep here on the show. Lock, hit. Warriors and Grizzlies game flew over, and then the dog of Trae Young, 12 plus assists. I mean, I told you, 15. It felt like a 15 assist day for Trae Young, and I think he finished with 16. So very good day there. Except for KD. KD let us down, but the Rockets still destroyed the net, so trade off there. Scott Studio Right Show. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, can't really complain. Ended up splitting my picks. I should have swept. I'm still a bit annoyed the Jazz choked away that lead. I took the alt spread. I think they led by 6 with 10 seconds to go, and they somehow went to overtime. But they ended up winning by 4. I had the 4.5 as an alt spread, so that was not fun. But I had Portland as my lock, and they got there. Reeves had 41. Nobody cares, and nobody else did anything for the Lakers. Portland, not bad. But either way, point is, ended up splitting. Utah led the entire game and then punted away the lead at the end to not cover. But either way, we'll take it. Overall, pretty good episode for both of us. I think we got a lot right on the card. We'll try to keep rolling here. Only 5 games on the card for Tuesday, but should still be fun.
Scott, who's the 50-point scorer today since everybody's just dropping 50 one day?
Yes, yesterday was Laurie, so we actually did get a 50-piece. For today, a part of me kind of wants to say Maxey. Sixers did play yesterday. Sixers did play yesterday, but I think Maxey's the sleeper option.
I am going to say I want to go off the beaten path here.
Because I think most people are going to say Giannis, but I was kind of feeling
I'm kind of feeling an old man like Kawhi, or maybe, feeling somebody from that Clippers squad that just kind of gets going here against the Warriors on the second leg of a back-to-back. But, I mean, it clearly there's one 50-point scorer a night. I mean, we've been trading numbers with people. You had Reeves the other day. Luka's had a big one, like everybody. I think if you go and you take a number of people for 40, 50 points, you're probably going to be up units at the end of the day, because it just seems like there's multiple people. It's a lot of scoring going on in the NBA right now. All right, let's get into it. We got, only 5 games here to talk about, Scott, on Tuesday in the association. Before we get to that, though, got to remind everybody that NFL is going on, MLB is going on, NHL is going on. You know the NBA is going on because you're listening right now. So make sure you go lock into all of our podcasts at the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. You can get them over in the app. You can go follow them on YouTube. But the NBA Gambling Podcast, Hockey Gambling Podcast, NBA Gambling Podcast, Sports Gambling Podcast, all those shows are still producing. So go check them out. All right. Let's get into it. First game up on the docket, we've got the Philadelphia 76ers on the road going to play the Washington Wizards. 76ers laying 4.5. 238.5 is the total. Injury report here, because it's an injury report for everybody, because half the league is injured right now. And you have Philly, who doesn't have to submit anything because they're coming off the back-to-back, and Bilal Coulibaly still out. Trey Johnson's questionable here. So, Scott, we have a Philly team that, I mean, potentially Joel Embiid said he's not playing back-to-backs, and he didn't play the first leg. So I guess potentially you could say that you might see a Joel Embiid sighting here today, but we just never know, honestly, with the Philadelphia injury report. Wizards catching 4.5 here at home. Philly potentially without Joel Embiid. Probably doesn't matter. They probably look better without him. What are we doing here?
Yeah, so I saw 3.5 on ESPN, so I'm just going to use that. I'll go with Philly in this one. I know they're on a back-to-back. Maxey and Edgecombe look really good together. The question mark, though, is if the Sixers are going to handle, I'd say energy-wise, a back-to-back here. I think they should. I think Washington stinks. I think it's pretty well known at this point. They have one win. It was against Dallas, who has also been really, really bad so far this season. They can't guard anybody. I think Maxey and Edgecombe are both going to have good matchups the entire game. You're looking at the actual lineup here for Washington. You have Carrington, McCollum, George, Middleton, and Sarr. Not good. Simply put, just not a very good team. I think 3.5 is too short. I'll go with Philly. I think Maxey was my random 50 piece of the day. But if you want to go for him or Edgecombe or even some of the bench guys they have, Philly's team doesn't look that bad. I agree with you, though. I think they do look better when Embiid doesn't play. So I do like the pace in this game. I do like the actual backcourt for Philly. And for Washington, yes, they ended up beating Dallas, but Dallas looks horrific. Like, I have nothing else to add there, so I'll go with Philly in this game -3.5.
I am kind of there. Not really. I would like this. I don't think that the gap is as big. Like, I don't think it's as large. Philly's playing well right now. It's cool, all that, but I don't know if the gap is that large between them and the Wizards right now. I don't think the Wizards have been playing necessarily horrible basketball, but it's just the Wizards. Like, that's as good as it's going to get. I think the pace is going to matter here and who dictates the pace of the game, because both of these two teams will kind of succumb to the other team's pace stats. So, like, the 76ers, Joel Embiid's in the game. They can play slower without him. They can play faster. This Washington Wizards team would like to run. And I think that they do like to play at a quicker pace here. It's just how efficient can they be at that pace. Sometimes they can be super efficient. That's what makes it really frustrating betting the Wizards, especially against questionable teams, is that you have a moment like the Mavericks game where they were absolutely on fire and the pace was really, really high. They had a really, really blazing fast pace because they played the Charlotte Hornets. So it's like, how much under control do I think this Wizards team can be in this game offensively? Because I don't think that Philly's doing anything special defensively. It's just how under control and efficient can the Wizards be on offense to be able to score here. And I think they can score. So I think the spread is close. I can see especially at 3.5, I definitely could see the Philly side of things. Once we start getting to 4.5, I'm like, all right, maybe we do need to consider Wizards here, because I think that it could be something like how they played the Charlotte Hornets, where they played this blistering, fast-paced game. It ended up being a 4-point game. Charlotte was up. They were battling back and forth, and they ended up getting a win. I think it could be similar to that. So because of that, I'm going to take the over 238.5. I like points here regardless.
I like the over too, but I do want Embiid news just solely based on how much he dictates the pace.
Yeah.
Because if Embiid is going to be playing in this game, we know Philly's going to try to feed him on various possessions, which is going to kill the entire pace. The thing about Maxey and Edgecombe together, they're two of the fastest guys on the court every time they're on the court. So you want them to kind of get downhill as soon as possible. With Embiid playing, there's definitely a shift in identity, and that results in a slower paced game. So if Embiid doesn't play, I love the over. If Embiid plays, I'm kind of on the fence. So
I think I could still get there even if he does play, but it's an absolute. I mean, if he doesn't play, this number is going to go down, and still hammer over at that point. Just be ready for that outcome. All right.
That's kind of how I feel, though. I'm kind of waiting it out to see, because I do think if Embiid sits, the line might go down. But I do think there is kind of a reverse correlation there. Less Embiid, you get more points in the game, and more Embiid, you get less points in the game, solely based on pace. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
All right. Any player props or anything else you want to throw out into the game?
Well, I mentioned I think Maxey has a shot at 50, so I feel like that's a good place to start. I think Edgecombe's got a good matchup as well. When it comes to the Wizards, though, I'm trying to think of who I actually like for their matchup. George had a monster game last time out. I think he had was it last time out or 2 times ago? He had 34 points. So I don't mind potentially going for George here, who has had 21-plus points in 2 of the first 3 games. His rebounds, though, have been quite good. He's had at least 8 rebounds in each of the first 3 games. So I do think that Keyshawn George has a good rebounding matchups. And we know with Embiid has been rebounding it all. So I do think that Keyshawn George has a pretty good matchup here for the rebounds. It's at 6.5. I like it. I'll go with the over 6.5 and -112.
It's all gonna be like very, very dependent on matchup. But I do like Kelly Oubre today. I think Kelly Oubre can have a really solid day. He's coming off a 25-point game in the last time out. 19 before that against Charlotte, kind of getting into a rhythm, especially if there's no Joel Embiid. They're going to need that next level scorer there. And I'm not certain Washington has somebody that can keep up with him enough. It's at 19.5 on the points, rebounds, and assists combined. What's just his points? 14.5 points. Like, I think he can get to 15 points here today, especially in what I believe to be a high-scoring, fast-paced game, especially if Embiid doesn't play. So, yeah, the Embiid news and what ultimately is going to end up happening with him, maybe they sit him out both games here. Maybe they just sat him out the front half, and they're going to end up playing him the second half. But I could find myself betting a Joel Embiid. I also like Corey Kispert coming off the bench here. Had very good games against the Philadelphia 76ers in the past. Big 23-point game last time out. I think he can get some opportunities. It hasn't been dead this season either. It's been pretty good, gotten over his prop. 7 points against Dallas, 11 points earlier against Milwaukee. I think Dallas provided a little bit better defense than what I'm going to expect for this game against 76ers. So I think with that pace, Kispert can get open for a couple of threes and be able to knock them down. So I think 7.5 points for him is going to be a smooth little prop there. Before we get to the next game on the slate, gotta make sure I talk to everybody about MyBookie.ag. Place to bet every single sport. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime with MyBookie. NFL, NBA, NHL, all of that going on. By the way, World Series is going on, and I mean crazy game in the World Series last night. They played two games.
How much of it did you watch?
So I had it going side by side with the Monday Night Football game. So I actually caught a good amount of the game. And I was actually paying attention to it more than I thought I was going to be, because on the other TV, I had the NBA games going on. And I just kept looking over. And like at one point, I saw the Kirk home run that put the because I think the Dodgers are up 2-0, and then the Kirk home run was a 3-run home run. It was 3-2, and then the next thing I look, and the Dodgers are back up again. I'm like, oh shit! Like, and I just keep going back and looking. I saw Ohtani hit 2 home runs, and then when I went back to look at the last one, I think he was like 4 for 4, Scott. And I was like, yo, you probably shouldn't pitch him again. And then I don't think they pitched him. They didn't pitch to him again for the rest of the game.
They walked him 5 times in a row. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after that last one, I'm like, yeah, we're not doing you probably don't want to do that anymore. And next thing I know, I'm waking up at around, 1 a.m.?
Yeah, there was still one.
Oh, yes, in 15. So it was 3 more innings after I woke up and decided to go back to sleep again. Insane. Mm-hmm. Crazy game. Make sure you head over there, tap into the World Series with MyBookie. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market, and you're getting the best prices on the market with Novig, available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 when you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. Back to that World Series game, too. The defense by the Dodgers, very impressive. I felt like there was a number of times that they made plays at the plate and got an out, and it was like, oh, dude, we needed that. Like,
yeah, the Edmund slide throw into third base was nice.
Oh, dude, it was nowhere close. Why did he take that? I was watching it. I'm like, dude, that's like, I clearly know. A lot of those times I can't tell if it's out or not, Scott. But like that's, I'm like, bro, it's clearly out. Clearly out.
Good game, though, but Dodgers pulled it off in the end.
Shout out to Met Dolph fan who said that he watched the whole game. Insane.
To be honest, I was sweating out a couple of Monday Night Football props, so I was kind of waiting for that to end, and then I switched over, so I missed about 5 innings or so, 6 innings.
Dude, it was crazy.
So I'm not going to apologize. I still caught like 13 innings, so I'm
like, what? It is incredibly long game. I couldn't imagine sitting in the ballpark that long. Couldn't imagine. And I like going to baseball games. Couldn't imagine. All right, next game up. We've got, who's next? The 7:30. Oh, are we shotgunning the whole way? Oh no, we're not shotgunning the whole way here, but a little bit of a shotgun start to start the day. 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast. We got the Charlotte Hornets on the road going to play Miami Heat. Miami Heat laying 6.5 points. 241.5 is the total. Injury report here, and we have for the Charlotte Hornets, Trey Mann is questionable. No Brandon Miller, no Grant Williams, no Josh Green, and Simone Fontecchio is questionable as well. You know, Tyler Hero's doing Tyler Hero things. All right.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I mean, this is very clear. Like, it's very clear and easy. We go to the flow chart here. The Miami Heat are playing a game. Are the Miami Heat a favorite? Check yes. Oh, okay. Fade them. Fade them as a favorite. And I love it because the Miami Heat have been dogs for 3 straight games. 2-1 record, by the way. 3 straight games. And they've covered every single time as a dog. And everybody is forgetting. And this is exactly why it's always good to fade them as a favorite, because they go on this run covering as a dog, and they overvalue this team. And then they start laying all these points, and you're like, wait, the Miami Heat still can't play defense. Like, that is the major part of this. That game against the New York Knicks slowed down in pace, but the defense still wasn't that great. Like, it was better by far, especially from what they did against the Orlando Magic to begin the season. But I'm not a believer in the Heat's defense. I'm not. I think that this Charlotte team, who has successfully forced every single team up to this point to play to their pace, is going to dictate the pace. The Miami Heat are going to follow suit because Miami Heat right now are one of the top teams in the NBA in terms of pace, because they want to run and play fast too. But now you're playing into the Charlotte Hornets. You're playing into their hands, exactly into their hands. This is literally the Charlotte Hornets game where they go, they play a Miami Heat team, they compete, and then they probably end up blowing the game in some last second thing, and then we end up covering the spread still. Oh, it's Hornets plus the points all the way here, all the way.
Yeah, so I initially like the over in this game. I do think it looks a little bit scary with the Heat being involved until you realize the Heat are number 1 in pace in the entire league. So Miami kind of reinvented themselves, and they look really good so far this season. They lost the first game to Orlando. That game was close. They were leading most of the way. They ended up losing. It is what it is. Won the next 2 games, beat the Knicks, who are supposed to be the favorites to win the Eastern Conference, basically, either them or Cleveland. And they look very good. So I don't see them really changing anything. We know that the Hornets want to play fast as well. LaMelo had a triple-double last time out. No Brandon Miller. He can't stay healthy. It is what it is. But I still like the pace involved. I still like the over. But it's a system for us. If the Heat are laying north of 2 possessions at home,
no, anything.
We're not taking them.
Anything. If they're laying anything, do not take them.
We're not taking them. So, I'll go with the over in this game. I see a bunch of points, but I also think the Hornets – division rivalry might be a close game. I don't mind maybe Heat 1-10, but I'll play it safer and I'll just go with the over instead.
I'm very interested to see what the Charlotte Hornets do here, playing now in a step up of competition. Mm-hmm. Very interested to see how this ends up for them. All right, love over, love Miami. Any player props here?
By the way, for the record, every single Hornets game so far, all 3 have had at least 246 points. So they only play fast, which helps out the total. So
literally, if you go and you dive a little bit deeper into everybody's pace stats, you'll look and see everybody's pace jumps up for that game. And then you go to the next game and it jumps right back down. Like, the Hornets are speeding everybody up because they are just a bunch of young dudes that just want to hoop. Everything else doesn't even matter. There are a bunch of young dudes that want to hoop. And you know what? If they start competing against these good teams, might have something to say about them because they look good. And I'll let you know this right now. When you watch the condensed game footage of Charlotte Hornets, you're only going to see the ball in LaMelo Ball's hand. As much usage as you think he has more. He has way more. It's literally all LaMelo until he gets off the floor and then somebody else picks up. So with that being said, it starts and ends with LaMelo for me. I have to play some type of LaMelo prop in this game. The double-double is very interesting at plus 130. I think the assists are interesting at 8.5.
It's plus 126 too. It's a good price.
Yes, very good price. Of course, the scoring is always going to be an option, and he could have one off scoring day and still drop like some 25 points or something like that. Like the scoring is always going to be an option, but I'm very much looking at the assists. I think the double is in the realm possibility for him as well. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a lot of LaMelo Ball here, and the rebounds honestly can be there because of how fast they play. Like he's just going to be in the spot and just grab a rebound. So. Yeah, all over LaMelo Ball props. I like Norman Powell as well. They're starting to respect him with the number. I think I saw his number at 22.5. And so, yeah, I still do like Norman Powell to have a good game. I just don't think watching the Charlotte team, they're moving too fast. They're not going to be able to guard him. Norman Powell's going to go north to south really quick. So I think he'll have a big game, some 25-plus points, something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I thought about going for the LaMelo assists. You actually can find him to lead the game in assists at even money. David Mitchell, in theory, could beat that because, of course, we know Charlotte doesn't play good defense either. But LaMelo to lead the game in assists. The question is, do you think he actually leads it with less than 9? Because if he doesn't, then just take the over 8.5 at plus 126. So I didn't mind something with LaMelo there. Besides that, though, I feel like you can kind of go a couple of different directions because without Miller in the lineup, you just have more usage on LaMelo. The ball's going to be in his hands the entire game. So I really don't mind going for LaMelo stuff, but I think the assists are intriguing. He's had 10-plus assists in 2 straight against Miami. If you want to go for an alt 9.5, could be a decent price as well. So I'll go for LaMelo assists for this game.
All right. Let's see here. Anything else? No, I think that's it. All right. Yeah, all over the Hornets today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, Florida didn't slip. I guess I said I love Miami at some point in that breakdown, but no, it's all Hornets. I would never take Miami as a favorite.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next game up. New York Knicks on the road going to play the Milwaukee Bucks. Knicks are laying 1.5. 229.5 is the total. Injury report, and we've got Cat questionable, Deuce McBride questionable, Yabusele questionable, Robinson is out, Kyle Kuzma, Cole Anthony both questionable for the Milwaukee Bucks, and Kevin Porter Jr. is also out.
Anthony's a big deal. I'll throw that out there. Anthony's been very good this season. I mean, Kuzma, nobody cares. Kuzma has been a complete lost cause since he got to Milwaukee, but Cole Anthony has been very, very solid off the bench. He had 23 points last game. So I care more about that questionable tag than Kuzma. I think Kuzma's just a name at this point. I'll ask you, because you're a fan of the team, how do you feel about the team so far?
I think they're okay. I think, of course, they need to work on some things defensively that I would like to see better out on the perimeter, get the rotations right. The bench was absolutely horrendous in that game against Miami. I'm sorry. See how the front of those slips happens when you talk about so many teams. Yeah, the bench was horrible against Miami, man. Absolutely horrible. And that's one of the things that just can't happen with all the different bench players and the philosophy, Mike Brown getting these guys active. Like, they've got to be way more locked in from the bench and getting a nice production boost there. But I still think that they're light years better than this Milwaukee team. I don't think Milwaukee's good. I don't see anything and makes me feel really, really great about them. Okay, they went and had a pretty decent game against the Cavs. It was a lot of Giannis and everybody else kind of filling in. Maybe AJ Green has a day and he's able to hit out perimeter. I think that's the one thing I'm concerned about the Knicks is their perimeter defense and giving up a bunch of threes in here. But nothing really has gotten me any different than feeling like I cannot trust Milwaukee in a lot of spots. Like it's still Doc Rivers. It's still Giannis carrying this team literally on his back. And then, you add the Cole Anthony questionable and it's not looking good for Kyle Kuzma either to play in the game. Yeah, both of these two teams got the injury bug a little bit, but I'll trust the better roster. Give me the Knicks.
By the way, I was actually looking it up because you brought up the Knicks bench. Do you actually know how badly the Knicks bench shot in that Heat game, or do you want me to tell you?
Nah, you could tell me.
All right, so the Knicks in that Heat game, the entire bench went a combined 7 for 32 from the floor.
It felt like it. I thought you was going to say something worse. I felt like I didn't see them make a shot.
Yeah, Clarkson went 2 for 11. Josh Hart was 2 for 5. Kolek was 2 of 6. So nobody on the entire team on the bench shot above 40%. from the floor. So the bench was terrible. It was a throwback to playoff Tibbs Knicks with Brunson dropping 37 and nobody else doing anything the entire game, and they ended up losing. But either way, for this matchup, I actually am going to apologize to Milwaukee and Doc Rivers. I actually like what I've seen. I don't think that they're going to be a threat long-term to actually win the East or anything. But I think they actually look pretty good so far this season. Now, they're 2-1. I know Giannis is doing Giannis things. I get they played the Wizards and the Raptors, and damn, the Raptors can't guard anybody. Lost to Cleveland in a close game on the road. No shame in that. They look really good, in my opinion. I think that the roster actually blends together better than I thought it was going to. They fully embrace the 4-out Giannis isolation style of play, and it looks pretty good.
It's not going to work long term.
Well, it won't. I agree, but do I think they can get like a top 4 or 5 seed in an injured Eastern Conference? I think so. I wasn't sure they'd be able to do that. I mean, Giannis averaging 36, 16, and 7 is definitely going to help with that. Cole Anthony, though, is second on the team in points, and he might not play. That's definitely a concern. The thing is, you're basically asking me if I think the Knicks, who are the better team, obviously, based on depth, do I think they actually respond after kind of no-showing a game against Miami? Do I think Mike Brown gets his guys up emotionally for this type of game? Because if the Knicks actually show up mentally engaged, and if the bench isn't totally useless from the floor, they are better than Milwaukee. I don't think there's a debate with that. We know that Giannis can get whatever he wants. Truth is, so can Brunson. If you look at the last couple of meetings, Brunson's owned this team for the last year or two. I am going to go Knicks in this game, but I think I like the over in this matchup. Milwaukee so far has had a bunch of high-scoring games. The Cavs, we know, are a good defensive team. They scored 113, did end up landing 231. Raptors 238, and Wizards were 253. I like the over in the game. As you mentioned, their game against the Heat, they only scored 107. It was mostly because of really inefficient shooting. The pace was still pretty good. They got some open looks. Nobody could hit a shot. So I'm hoping that kind of balances out. I like the over, though. Milwaukee, every game's had at least 231. I see a higher scoring game. Give me the over in this game.
One thing I want to point out: Knicks 5-0 in their last 5 games against the and against the spread. By the way, 5-0 ATS and straight up against the Milwaukee Bucks in the last 5. Look at the Knicks points totals here: 116, but that was a total of 218.5. That context is very, very important. They put up 116 points with a 218.5 total, 140 points with a 228 total. 223.5. They still put up 116. 220.5 total. They put up 122. And then highest total on the board a couple of years ago, 242.5, and they still got to 129. So the Knicks are doing their part, and they're exposing the defense, and they have the matchups. They like everything. I like the Knicks team total to go over. I am afraid of what Milwaukee would do, to be honest, and if they're going to be able to keep up with the scoring. But I think the Knicks will be able to score regardless.
Yeah, once again, the last point I'll make is I'm still not totally high on Milwaukee long term, but they are better than I expected out of the gates. But if Giannis misses his inevitable 10 to 15 games this season, they're screwed because Giannis does everything for this entire team.
Yep.
So there you go.
I just want you to know, yeah, there's no shot they win a game without Giannis.
No, but right now to start the season, they do look better than I thought.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say.
I'm not impressed, but there we go.
Well, going in, we thought they might be like a 500 team. I think they look better than that. But we'll see.
Player props, anything?
Not really. I mean, I think Brunson's going to do his normal thing. I think that Giannis should have a solid rebounding game. Don't mind that. Trying to think if there's anything else I'm really tempted by. I don't actually know if I am. I was wondering which player I should go for threes because Milwaukee does the 4-out system with this team. Mm-hmm. I mean, AJ Green's now at 2.5 threes, so the 1.5 threes era is gone. I mean, it makes sense. He's made 3+, even dating back to last year in 6 straight. So I didn't mind AJ Green over 2.5 threes at -105. But you're kind of just picking which 3-point shooter for Milwaukee you think actually has a good game. That's kind of where you're at for this. So Gary Trent Jr. maybe. If you want to go for AJ Green, that's an option too. Milwaukee is only using drive and kick basically with Giannis. So pick whichever 3-point shooter you want with that team.
I like.
I'm not taking Jordan Clarkson, I'll tell you that much.
I will take Josh Hart today.
Okay.
I understand I saw the chat mad about Josh Hart earlier. I think PRA is probably the best way to play him today, but I am very interested at the 4.5 assists being plus 115. I think that one, he's been very good. He's gone over this number in two of what is this? He's gone over this number in 2 of 3 against the Milwaukee Bucks last season. I think that in this season, he has gone over the number in the last game against Miami, actually. And that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting to see him come off the bench and be more of a playmaker, see a little bit of, Brunson gets going. He does his thing in the ISO, but Josh Hart really inserts himself into the offense and gets all the other auxiliary pieces going. The Jordan Clarksons, if we get Deuce McBride being in that category, Bridges, and Nobi, all of those guys. I think Josh Hart can play really well alongside those guys against this Bucks defense and be really, really good on the assists. And of course, I think the rebounds will be there and he'll do enough on the points. I think the PRA is a good way to play it, but I'm kind of a little bit locked into the assist here, being at plus money for Josh Hart just to get 5. Started to go up in minutes a little bit. They're carving out his role, making sure that we're bringing him off the bench, but this is an impact player for us. I think it's a little bit of a short line here. So a little bit off the beaten path there, but I am interested in Josh Hart's playmaking today against the Bucks.
Well, I was going to ask you before we move on, just in general, are you a fan of Josh Hart in the 6-man role, or do you prefer him as a starter?
Yes. No, I like the 6-man role. I like the 6-man role. I think he brings the energy off of the bench, and he can be that floor general for that second unit and really keep the second unit going, especially with the fact of now we're actually playing, 9-10 guys a game. So I think Josh Hart is very, very integral into that part.
Yeah, I think we're going to agree to disagree a little bit here. I get what you're saying when it comes to actually using the bench. Then again, that's why you got Clarkson in the first place. Clarkson has been really bad because we know he's going to jack up a bunch of really ugly shots. Just comes with the territory. But I also don't think Huck Purdy's actually good at basketball. So I feel like using him in the starting lineup is kind of a waste for me. I get the whole point is that you're trying to use him until Robinson comes back and he's going to be your 2 bigs lineup, but I don't think he's good at basketball, so I'd rather see Hart play more minutes. But I get what you're talking about. I don't know. I just feel like Huck Purdy doesn't do anything with this team. I don't think he fits at all, and I would rather.
And they're also, you got to think, it's not just that. They missed Deuce McBride that last game. McBride would have been in the starting lineup. That would have been a better fit to get another shooter alongside Cat and Brunson.
Well, do you like McBride in the lineup instead of Hart? I know it's for 3-point shooting. That's why they have it.
I think it would depend. It would depend on matchup base. There'd probably be some games where we probably play a more offensive team, and I'd probably want Josh Hart out there, more defensive perimeter reasons. But Deuce McBride fills a hole, and we need a really good 3-point shooter, sparky scorer that can play alongside Brunson and Cat. And when they get the ball to him, he hits an open 3. So
I get it. I just think Hart's energy is really just invaluable to this team. I think he needs to play 30-plus minutes. I know that he's full.
I think he should. I think he should absolutely play 30-plus minutes. He just doesn't have to start and play those minutes.
I feel you. I don't know. I think Josh Hart, in my opinion, I think with his energy, I get that he has flaws in his game, mostly shooting, but I do think he should be starting. I think using out Purdy for 10, 15 minutes a game at the starting lineup is a complete waste of time.
Yeah, so. No, I don't. I'm cool. I understand that. It's just when Mitchell Robinson comes back and Deuce McBride is back, the team looks different, and it makes a lot more sense when Josh Hart is coming off the bench.
I get it. I just think that with Robinson being out for, if you even want to mention rebounding, we know Hart can get you a triple-double in some games. I think Hart should be starting, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Agree, disagree.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. Before we get to the next game on the slate, got to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up. Use that promo code NBA SGPN. We've gotten a number of games out the way. Scott, let's go ahead and draft up a nice little Underdog lineup. Let's see here. I'll kick it over to you first, Scott. Where would you like to start?
All right. So for the first choice here, I was wondering if I wanted something with Maxey in that game against Washington or not.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I think I'll probably go for Maxey. I'm just wondering what his points are going to be at. It's at 28.5.
Yep.
Which I think I have to go over. I'll go higher on the maxi points here at 28.5.
Higher maxi points. I like LaMelo today. I think the assists are going to be there. The ball's always in his hands. And we're just going to fade that Miami Heat defense here. So LaMelo, higher 8.5 assists. And who else? I do like Norman Powell.
I mean, did you want to go for the hard assist? Because I'm not going to stop you if you want the hard assist.
Yeah, we can do it.
Sure, let's do it.
If it's up here. Yeah, Josh Hart. Yeah, and we're getting 3.5 over here on Underdog. So we'll take that. 4 assists? Yeah, absolutely. All right. Tyrese Maxey, higher 28.5 points. LaMelo Ball, higher 8.5 assists. Josh Hart, higher 3.5 assists. At an Underdog, shake it up. You're going to get 5.86x. $100 gets you $586. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Make sure you tap into the Rhythm Labs. They got the NFL props going on, NBA props going on. They are high on Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart today here. Look at Josh Hart here. Recommended play, higher 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. They predict Josh Hart for 32.7 today against the Milwaukee Bucks. So make sure you go lock in with Rhythm. They're about to have the smart signals drop for the NBA soon with more data, but they're already cooking up in the NFL. So make sure you go check it out. SGPN25 for that promo code when you get your first month, 25% off with Rhythm. SGPN25. Make sure you go check out Rhythm. Sacramento Kings on the road going to play the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder laying 10.5 here. Let's open up at 11.5, Scott. 227.5 is the total. Injury report here for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and we have nothing to report because they did play yesterday. Keegan Murray, Nick Clifford still out for the Kings. OKC 4-0.
Shocker.
Yeah, because it definitely didn't look good at different times. But
with no J-Dub, they're 4-0.
Yeah, pretty much, and multiple injuries across the bench. They came off the win yesterday. Dallas 101-94. Didn't end up covering the number. Knew that if something was fishy about that, but they did get the win. All right. I mean, like,
I think the Kings are a horrible basketball team. So.
Yeah, I was like, so what's the evaluation of the Sacramento Kings right now? Like,
they're bad. I mean, you look at the roster makeup. This team would be so good if it was 2014. They'd be so good if we were still in like middle school, but we're not. I graduated years ago from college, so unfortunately this team's not very good. I mean, the issue is pretty simple, Sacramento, and you're looking at all the people on the roster, but it also comes back to one of the best players. Sabonis is the worst rim protector in the entire league, and when you have bad perimeter defenders and no rim protection at all, you are going to give up a ton of points. And the one win they had was against the Jazz in a game they trailed in with less than 10 seconds left. They pulled off the win. But I don't think this team's any good, like, at all. I think Sacramento's a team that doesn't have an identity. I think ownership had a pretty good thing going. They lost in Game 7 against the Warriors, but they blew the team up. And because of that, now they're back to where they normally are, just being a bottom feeder in the West that nobody cares about. And they're the Sacramento Queens again. Shout out to Shaq. So I'll go with the Thunder because why not? I don't think the Kings are good at basketball. That's my thought on this team.
My thought on the Kings is they were forsaken ever since they pump fake move into Virginia. That was it. When it was a point in time. A lot of people don't know this lore. I'm about to drop some crazy Virginia lore here for you. We were so excited because it looked like the cities were getting the money together. They were going to build this big, huge mega arena, and the Kings were looking to sell. There was conversations going on between the two, and it looked like that they had a buyer. They were going to bring the team to Virginia, and it all crumbled. And they've been horrible ever since. Just want to throw that out there. One playoff run, but absolutely horrible ever since that happened for me way back in middle school, high school, something like that. Yeah, I mean, the defense hasn't looked good. They played a close game to the Jazz, and at this point, I don't even know what that means anymore. That actually could be something decent. But horrible, ugly game, blowing that game to the Suns.
Well, to be fair, road Jazz. We'll separate road and home Jazz.
Very much true. It was road Jazz. I just don't know I don't know what stops they're going to get. I don't know what stops. They're just going to have to score to keep up. And if we lose this because they score some 120 points and OKC scores 130, then you know what? It is what it is. But it's all good. Look, shout out to Daquan. Daquan know the Lord. We were so close to getting the Kings as an actual NBA team. We were really, really excited. I was gonna be a Kings fan at that point. I would have been a Kings fan. And you know what? Life could have been so different. Imagine the parallel universe that Virginia has an actual NBA team. We would have treated them with love. All right. Back to say that again. I'm all over OKC here. Give me OKC laying the points.
I do want to point out, though, that the Thunder did have, of course, the 2 straight double overtime games, so they did give up more points than, it's kind of fair to them stats-wise.
Yeah.
They gave up 104 in regulation to Houston. The Indiana game was fast-paced. They gave up a decent amount of points in that one in regulation. 100 to Atlanta, which is very impressive. And, I think the Mavericks stink, but they gave up 94 to Dallas. They're a very good defensive team. And I do think if the Kings can't get any stops, if you expect Shea to have a crazy game anyway, I still think OKC's defense can clamp this team. And if that happens, I just don't see enough stops for the Kings to keep this close, especially in this environment with the crazy home court advantage that the Thunder have. I think they win by like 15.
All right. Let's see. Totals at 227.5. Player props, anything here?
For the total, I'm actually kind of torn because the Thunder can get to 120, but I'm really not sure the Kings get to like 110 in this game because I said a second ago the Thunder have held 3 to 4 opponents to under 105 in regulation. So I'm not sure the Kings actually do get to 106, etc. So I'm kind of just torn for the total, but I think the Thunder cover. So that's kind of my main thought.
I think you're taking your pick of what's more likely, the Kings team total under or the Thunder team total over.
Yeah.
I'll take the Thunder team total over and just say they get back into a groove offensively and get the scoring again. But yeah, not much to like in that one. Ugly game. Player props, anything else in there before we move on?
If Reeves can drop 51 on your head, I think SGA can probably drop, north of 30. So blowouts might be a concern, which of course is an issue when you have a matchup against a complete bottom feeder. But I got to go with Shea. They gave up 51 to Austin Reeves. I know Reeves had 41 against Portland last night. I get all that, and SGA is now with 32.5 points. I still think Shea's going to have a monster game. I don't know how they're going to guard him. I don't think they can guard him. And I think Shea can do what he wants. So I'm trying to see quickly if I can find the first quarter points. At 8.5, so far this season, he has been going under. He did play all 12 minutes, though, against Dallas in the first quarter. I'll point out against the Kings, he has scored 12-plus in the first quarter in 2 of the last 3. So I actually didn't mind Shea first quarter points over 8.5.
Chet's been very aggressive.
I see Hunter mentioning the Chet double-double at a plus 139.
Yeah, he's been very aggressive to start the year. I like it.
They have no rim protection with Sabonis. So yeah. I think the Thunder just get a free roam to the basket the entire time.
And that's what just makes it hard because anybody could get that free range to the basket. But I like Chet here. Give me Chet. Over, 19.5 points? Is that plus money? I think he can get to 20 on this Sacramento Kings team, honestly. I think he's been very, very aggressive to start the games. Just got to keep the momentum going throughout the duration. He's got a 28-point and a 31-point game already this season. 19.5 does feel a little bit short for the guaranteed second option on the team right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Clippers on the road going to play the Golden State Warriors. Warriors on another back-to-back here, Scott.
What a brutal schedule for the Warriors to start the season. So many games.
Clippers are laying 2.5. On the road, 225.5 is total. Clippers, Bradley Beal is out. Kobe Sanders is out. Jordan Miller's out. Warriors, we'll see what they do and who they decide to play on the second leg of a back-to-back. Did Al Horford play yesterday?
Let me check.
If he did, you know he's not playing this game. If he didn't, you know he's probably is playing that game. It's probably the only thing I can tell you for certain.
Al Horford did not play.
Yeah, so he's more than likely playing in this game here. All right. Yeah, Old Man Bowl. It's like, aren't these like two oldest teams in the league?
They're definitely up there.
Like, yeah, 36. I think he's 35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to imagine they're two of the oldest teams in the league.
Yeah, gotta be. Okay. Well, I mean, if there's a spot for the Clippers, it's probably playing the other old team in the league, coming off of back-to-back. I'm not saying that this is indicative of any vote of confidence that I have in the Clippers right now at this point in the season. But the Warriors, you can't slow them down. I think the Clippers would prefer that. The Warriors probably don't want to get up and down on the second leg of a back-to-back anyways. So I expect it probably to be a slower pace game. Play them a little bit more out of the half court, probably some inefficiencies here or there because, I'm just not high on the Clippers at all. That call against them and the Portland Trailblazers, I mean, it was just way too many points for them. And at this point, it's pretty simple. If they're playing another old team, they probably look pretty decent. But if they're playing these young guys that go up and down the court, they're not keeping up with them. And so I like the Clippers here. Late at 2.5, nothing really to feel good about, but it is a really, really tough start of the season for the Warriors.
Yeah, so quick trivia question. Do you know the current streak in the head-to-head between these two teams?
No.
Which team has won X games in a row?
Is it?
And there's the Clippers, and how many games in a row have they won against Golden State?
How many games in a row?
Yeah.
I guess it's a lot because you're asking me. So 7?
That is correct.
No way.
Yes, it is.
Oh, is it really 7?
Clippers have won 7 straight.
Oh, hey.
You might remember the last game was the final game of the regular season where they won in overtime last year, or that was a really entertaining game, and the Clippers ended up pulling it out. But, yeah, the Clippers low-key own this team in the regular season. They've won 7 in a row against this team. Now, we've only seen them on the road once, and they got buried by Utah. But on the other hand, I do wonder how much of that was just a complete no-show based on schedule.
And you just underestimated them, like thinking that this is the Utah team of last year, and they came and
you think Utah's tanking, they're going to be a bottom feeder. You even get Bradley Beal, who I know we're not high on, but still well-known player in the league. You're supposed to win 50-plus games, and you just no-show an entire opening game on the road. I feel like that's just what happened. They were down 40 in that game, and now because of that one showing, a lot of people warped their expectations for the Clippers because of one game. They've been good since then. I mean, they killed Phoenix, who stinks. I think Portland's good. They won by 7. Good showing there. But defensively, they kind of buckled down. They allowed 102 to Phoenix, 107 to Portland. And Portland's been playing very fast so far this season. I like the under in the game. As you said, you have the Warriors on a back-to-back again. Also playing Memphis in game 1 is not the matchup you want for the doubleheader because Memphis plays very fast.
Yep.
So I do think the Clippers can out-physical this team and make the game kind of physical. Once again, just make it ugly and force Golden State to actually handle it physically with the potential fatigue angle. I like the Clippers. I know Golden State was favored last night at around 1.5. Line moved to 1.5 or 2.5 for the Clippers. I also wonder, with the Warriors already having their second back-to-back of the season, everyone played in the first back-to-back. Portland killed them. They won by 20, but all the older guys played. Is there a chance they sit some people? I don't know. We'll see.
Because what is this? The season just started. And
it's such a horrible spot for Golden State again. I like the Clippers minus 1.5, so I'll take the Clippers in this game.
Yeah, you're immediately starting the season, and you're playing 5 games in 7 days.
Which is just a brutal spot for the oldest team in the league. So I like the Clippers anyway.
Yeah,
but
Clippers laying 2.5.
They've won 7 in a row against this team.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but yeah, Clippers laying 2.5. I agree with you. Under this time around, 225.5 is total. I wouldn't be surprised if multiple people sat out for the Warriors here because, again, 5 days, 5 games in 7 days to start the season is insane.
Do you think that there's a Horford for Draymond swap here tonight? That's kind of what I'm expecting.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Draymond did his best to get ejected last night.
Because why didn't you play Horford the first game? And they're playing against the super. So you either play Al. You looking at the schedule. You either play Al Horford against the blazing fast Memphis Grizzlies, or you sit him and you play him against the old man, slow rocking chair freaking Clippers. Like, yeah, it makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if Draymond doesn't play here either.
Yeah, I see JT mentioning the Warriors did blow the game open pretty early on. You're not wrong. But to still read off the minutes, decent amount of people got to around 30 in the game yesterday. So even with the blowout script with the Grizzlies just being a horrible defensive team, a bunch of people did play a decent amount of minutes. So I do want to point out for the actual minutes for the starters for Golden State, Butler played 31, Curry played 30, Podziemski played 32, Kuminga played 32, Draymond played 28. So you still had a decent amount of minutes played by the starters, and now you're traveling back to – sorry, you're already in Golden State. So no travel, but now you're playing the Clippers. I think it's a good spot for the Clippers. So, yeah, give me LA in this game. I like the under, though, with the matchup.
I know we don't have anything for the Warriors, but any player props, anything?
I think Harden should have a solid game. I thought about maybe going for his assists, actually, if I wanted it. Let me just see. His assists were at 9.5, though. But we saw him have 13 against the Portland. He had 11 in that bad game against Utah. He has had 10-plus assists in 3 of the last 4 against Golden State. I didn't mind Harden assists at 9.5. The over's plus 125. I didn't mind the value on that.
I will go with Zubac today.
Okay.
I think if Harden gets his assists, it's going to be a lot on the pick and roll with Zubac. Forcing Al Horford if he plays, and if he doesn't play, then, I mean, what is it, post? To guard on the inside, keep him off the glass. Like, I think Zubac can have a really good game. He's had 17, 11, 17, and 18 on the rebounds recently against his Warriors team. He's had very good on the points, 22, 17, 8, and 23 on the points. So Zubac, points, rebounds, double-double, all of that. I think he can have a really good day here.
All
right. Now, lock dog. All right, Scott.
All right. For my lock, I think I'm just going to go back to the last game. They've owned the head-to-head. It's a great spot. I'm going to go for it. Give me the Clippers in this game. It's really tough when you play basically like 5 games in 7 or so, or whatever the hell it is for Golden State when you're the oldest team in the league. I think it's a bad spot. Clippers have beaten this team 7 straight times. The Warriors have not beaten the Clippers since November 30th, 2023. Like, it's been a long time. Give me the Clippers in this game. I think the job done. Might not be easy, but I think they survive. I'll go with Golden State to keep the game somewhat respectable, but I think they fall short. So I'll go for the Clippers in this one. For my dog, I do think I'm going to go with a play that I've been using in the past, but I have not used this season. I know it goes in, I'd say, hand in hand with what we normally do when the Heat are favored at home. I'm not picking the Hornets to win outright. I do think Brandon Miller being out is a big deal, but I'm going to go with the Heat, 1-10 at plus 170. Close game, comes down to the wire, but I do think Miami's depth is better than Charlotte's, and I do think that Miller being out is a big deal. Give me Miami, 1-10 at plus 170.
I will take lock. Charlotte, Miami over 241.5. Way too much peace. Not enough defense in the game. Dog. I'm going to go back to Zubac.
All right.
So how do I want to play him?
I'll help you look for Zubac stuff. His rebounds are 10.5, so you can't really take that.
Do I want to alt the rebounds? Do I alt the points?
Well, I am going to throw out, he has had 19-plus points in 2 of the first 3 games. Against Golden State, he has had 22-plus points in 2 of the last 4, 17-plus points in 3 of the last 4. You can get 17.5 points at plus 164.
So plus 164 for 18 points. Or we can go with the rebounds, which is I can get to 13 rebounds plus 166. So 13 rebounds, 18 points. Which one is more good?
For reference, he has had 17-plus rebounds in 3 of the last 4 against Golden State.
Yes, very good. I do like that spot. Let me see. Is there an alt on both? That is interesting. 30 for both. No, I don't want to do 30 for both. All right, let's just do the rebounds. He's the biggest thing out there. And those are really consistent. 13. No, Scott said the 18 points. I'm going to go with Scott. 18 plus points for Zubac. That's what I'm playing.
I mean, if you wanted to, you could, in theory, alt both and take a single.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm more than likely going to end up alting both.
I don't even mean an extreme alt. I mean, if you wanted to go for like 12 rebounds with like 15 points, you could do some type of combo alt if you wanted to.
15 points, 12 rebounds, plus 216.
Yeah, you can do some combo there. Because you're assuming if he gets the points, there's probably some offensive rebounds attached to it.
Okay, now, so let's say he doesn't get to the line. We get Harden on a pick and roll about, 3 times, 4 times, 8 points, couple of offensive rebounds, put back. We had 4, 12, okay. Yeah, let's do 15. All right, we'll do it that way, Scott. I like that. 15 plus points for Zubac, 12 plus rebounds, plus 214. Not bad. Warriors got to find a size issue. They got to solve that issue. The best Warriors teams always had a pretty decent big.
Man, they lost Looney.
Pachulia was playing well at one point. Like, there was one more guy that I can't remember off the top of my head, but
JaVale McGee.
Oh yeah, McGee gave him some.
McGee was good for them. I missed him.
Yeah, he gave some good minutes. Like the Warriors play their best ball when they have big.
Shout out to ring chasing Boogie Cousins.
Ah, dude,
he was there for a bit. I think it was one season.
Cup of coffee.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. I hope everybody got that. Over Miami and Charlotte. Zubac, 15 points, 12 rebounds, plus 215. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
No. Once again, not many games tonight, but looking forward to it. Should be fun. And yeah, besides that, there's another baseball game tomorrow or tonight. So there you go.
Oh, they got to play again tonight? They don't even get a day off?
Oh, you don't understand. Ohtani's pitching tonight.
Oh, well then.
He got on base 9 times yesterday. He's pitching. So that's the fun wrinkle in the thing. But
does that tire you out? You're tired?
I have no idea. Ohtani's also a freak
I was about to say, yeah. I was about to say,
I don't know if it matters.
Train your kids to be like Ohtani. If I'm having a kid, I'm showing them pure Ohtani film. Get like that. Do that. All right.
If you didn't know, by the way, the Japanese take their baseball very, very seriously. If you weren't aware of that,
lashings.
They are a serious baseball country.
I mean, if he ever has a bad game, I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody on his phone like, hey, and he's having some post-traumatic stress there.
I was a bit depressed. They were interviewing Ohtani after the game, asking about his performance, and it was another translator. And I immediately
asked
myself, do you think Ippei stayed up to watch all 18 innings in the big house? Or do you think he was already asleep? I don't know.
He might, especially when Ohtani is no longer like doing anything.
Yeah. I was wondering if Ippei was watching
because it's like the 8th inning when they stopped pitching to him and they had 10 more innings to go.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, man. That's it. He's at Reichel Radio. I'm at really __. Make sure you give us a follow. Go check out and see what Ohtani is doing today. I don't know. I might end up betting him, so I think that's going to be the kiss of death that he doesn't do anything. But they just played 2 whole baseball games last night. It's probably not a good day. Well, I don't know. Ohtani's a freak of nature. All right. At SGPN NBA on X, make sure you give us a follow. NBA Gambling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure you like the video, drop a comment on the way out, all of that. We did Underdog in the middle during the read, so just go, got to rewind and get into the Underdog read. We did that in the middle of the show. But other than that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.